Book 2, Lesson 5. Absorb. Say, absorb. To absorb is to take in or soak up. This sponge will absorb the water you spilled.
Now let's review word meaning. Choose A or B. When you absorb information, you A. learn it, or B. teach it to someone else. If you said A, you are right. When you absorb something, you take it in.
Anchor. Say, anchor. Anchor has two meanings. An anchor is a heavy weight on a rope or chain. It is dropped from a boat to keep it from moving. As our boat came near the shore, we dropped the anchor for the night. To anchor something is to hold it firmly in place. We need longer screws to anchor the cabinet to the wall.
Now let's review word meaning. Yes or no. You would have to be very strong to lift a ship's anchor. If you said yes, you're correct. The anchor of a boat is very heavy since it is used to keep the boat from moving.
Brush. Say, brush. Brush has three meanings. A brush is an object made of short, stiff hairs or wires that are fastened to a handle. This wire brush works very well to scrape the old paint from the side of the house. To brush is to clean, paint, or smooth something by using a brush. Leah brushes her teeth every night before going to bed. To brush is to touch something lightly by moving against it. Alex jumped when something brushed against his cheek in the dark hallway.
Now let's review word meaning. Choose A or B. If you brush against a wall, you A. crash into it, or B. touch it lightly. If you said B, you are right. To brush means to move against something gently.
Bud. Say, bud. A bud is a small swelling on a plant that will grow into a twig, flower, or leaf. Aunt Jane told me to pick the roses that were open and to leave the buds on the bush.
Now let's review word meaning. True or false. In the fall, trees grow buds. If you said false, you are correct. Buds grow on trees in the spring. Then the buds turn into leaves, flowers, or twigs.
Center. Say, center. Center has two meanings. The center of something is its exact middle. The referee put the soccer ball in the center of the field just before the game started. A center is a place where people come together for some purpose. Sarah went with her mother to the health center for a checkup.
Now let's review word meaning. Yes or no. There is an ocean in the center of the United States. If you said no, you are right. There are oceans to the east and west of the United States, but not in the middle.
Core. Say core. A core is the hard middle part of fruits, such as apples or pears. It holds the seeds of the plant. Juan ate the apple and then gave the core to his pony.
Now let's review word meaning. Choose A or B. Which of these will you find in an apple core? A, a field of apple trees, or B, the seeds of an apple? If you said B, you're correct. The core, or middle, of an apple is hard and has seeds in it.
Factory. Say factory. A factory is a building or group of buildings where things are made. Natalie's sister works in a factory that makes parts for computers.
Now let's review word meaning. True or false? If you go to an ice cream factory, you will see ice cream being made. If you said true, you're right. A factory is a place where things are made.
Hive. Say hive. A hive is the place where bees live. Mr. Olak keeps several hives in his backyard for bees.
Now let's review word meaning. Yes or no? Ants live in hives. If you said no, you are correct. A hive is a home for bees. Ants live in piles of dirt called anthills.
Sapling. Say sapling. A sapling is a young tree. In this old photograph, you can see our great oak tree when it was just a sapling.
Now let's review word meaning. Choose A or B. When a sapling grows up, it turns into A, a tree, or B, a horse. If you said A, you are right. A young tree is called a sapling.
Trunk. Say trunk. Trunk has 4 meanings. The trunk is the tall main stem of a tree. This is where its branches grow. On our vacation in California, we saw giant redwood trees with trunks almost 20 feet across. The trunk is the long nose of an elephant. The elephant lifted its trunk in alarm when it heard the motor of the airplane. A trunk is a large box or case with a lid that can be shut and locked. Nina opened the trunk at the foot of the bed to look for an extra blanket. The trunk is the covered part at the back of a car. It is used for carrying suitcases and other objects. Before we leave, will you please put the beach chairs and the towels in the trunk?
Now let's review word meaning. True or false? Bicycles usually have trunks. If you said false, you're right. Cars usually have trunks, covered areas where you can store and carry things, but bikes don't.